The purpose of this video is to figure out the land use regulation or land use designation for our lot, which is found at 2635 34th Street. I told you before that the best way to research lot information is through a parcel number. Don't use the address because address changes, but parcel numbers don't. Okay, so in the parcel number that we researched, we can find the shape of the lot by clicking on it, and you should be able to see the shape. And I believe this is our lot over here. So it's a rectangle 40 feet wide along 34th Street with an alley on the side. So you can find that out, and then zoning code is going to be down here, and it says it's C2, and we did research what C2 is, which is commercial. So anything about commercial is allowed. But we also see that this is also has an SPD on it, and SPD means that it is part of a special planning district. Okay, and when it is part of a special planning district, there's more regulations on it, and so we could always look at the city and its general plan to figure out if this is part of any special planning district. So we are going to go to the city of Sacramento, and there's going to be city of Sacramento website, and then we always want to look at the general plan. So we can do research here and type in general plan, and here's the general plan, city of Sacramento, and here is the general plan. So this is the general plan up to the year 2035. So you can see sometimes they plan ahead. Well, that's the planning department always does. This is their job, is to always plan for the future. So this is their plan until 2035. You can see here there's one that's already planned up to 2040. So let's look at general plan. Under general plan, you can look at part one, which is just introduction, part two, land use diagram. So I think we should be looking at land use diagram. If you look at our land use diagram, it should show us a map. And in this map, we should be able to see if we are part of any special districts by using the color code. So our address is close to, this is Broadway over here. It's in the North Oak Park, and it's along 34th Street. So it is to the right of Highway 99. So if you look at this one here, this is I-5, I believe. This is I-5? Oh, no, this is I-5. No, this is 99. So let's just go here. So this is 99 over here. This is I-5. 99, I believe, is over here. So this is 99 here, over here. This yellow one here is 99, Business 80. And 34th Street is here. So it looks like 34th Street, and we have here Broadway, which is this line. So Broadway turns here, 34th Street. So it looks like we are somewhere within this area, and it could be this orange area, or it could be this one. So really hard to tell, but 34th Street is this one, and Broadway is this one. So the dark pink is like 2 blocks along Broadway. So this is Broadway. So we have a little triangle there. Okay. And if you look at our parcel again, here's our lot. There's a little triangle. That's Second Avenue, and then Avant-Garde Alley. So let's look at this one again. Here's a little triangle here. This is Second Avenue 34. So it looks like we are part of this dark pink with gray lines on it. So we should be looking at dark pink with gray lines, which is this one. And it looks like the land use is part of an urban corridor, and it's urban corridor low. Okay, so we have that. Now let's go back here. Looks like we are urban corridor low. Let's double check again. Let's look at general plan, city Sacramento. Click on general plan. We looked at land use diagram, housing mobility, education, public health, part 3. We look at, let's look at community plan boundaries map. So let's look at that one. We are going to be somewhere here, which is part of the Fruitridge and Broadway. Okay, so we have to look at Fruitridge and Broadway. So let's go back here, general plan, and general plan here. And let's look at Fruitridge and Broadway. Here you go, community plan. So click on that, and might take a while to load up. That means that it's a big file, and this is one of the hardest parts of trying to research something for a lot. The easiest way is to go down to the city of Sacramento, to their counter, and then give them the address, give them the parcel number, and they would give you information on that one. So that's the easiest. So if you're at home and you wanted to find something out, there's a little researching that you need to do. So this is the Fruitridge Broadway plan per, where's that? For the community plan, we are somewhere here. So this is Broadway here. So we're over here, which is part of the Fruitridge Broadway community plan. So we're looking at the Fruitridge Broadway community plan, and you are scrolling through here, and you wanted to look for the designation, community issues, land use, and here you go, land use. So you want to start there, and we are somewhere here. So where is 34th? 34th Street is here. Let's look at our map again. This one is this big area. What is this big area? This is actually Sacramento High School. Okay, so this is Sacramento High School, and we are close to Broadway here, a couple blocks away. Now let's look at this again. So here's Broadway. Here's Broadway here. There's a triangle, couple blocks. So it looks like we are within this colored area, dark pink with a gray, and it is coded as dark pink with gray urban corridor low. So we double check that, and it looks like it is. Okay. So what is urban corridor low? So let's go back to City of Sacramento, general plan, and where would we find, click general plan again, where would we find the definition of urban corridor low? This is introduction, this is land use here, mobility, education, public. Doesn't look like there's nothing here. But oh, here it is, land use and urban design. So we click that, and again it's going to load a large document. So I hope you get fast internet. So here's land use and urban design, and as we said before, we are looking for guidelines on urban corridor low. So we're looking for urban corridor low. Now you could always do a search by pressing Control F, and you wanted to find urban corridor low. Okay, and there's 6 instances that happens. So here's one of them, and then here's one of them again. So here is urban corridor low. It shows us a table. What is this first row? Oh, here you go, guidelines. So there's a building height for an urban corridor low designation. You are allowed to have the number of stories from 2 to 6. Well, you can have 1, If it says one, that means that you can't have a second story. So because it says 2 to 6, that means that they want you to do 2 floors, not one but 2 floors immediately. Okay, so we can't do 1 floor; we have to do 2 floors. Now, it also has this little footnote here. It says that number one, the height guidelines are urban form guidelines, not land use standards. So this one is just land use or urban form guidelines, not land use standards. So we have to like research something about heights later. But we know that we can't have a 1 story building. It must be a 2 story building. For the standards, there's a minimum density, and these are dwelling units because you can put in livable space. That means that somebody can actually put a house or an apartment in that lot, and you can put in a minimum of dwelling units per acre. So here we can put in 20 units for every acre. Now, if we go to our assessor parcel number, the size of our lot is 0.07 acres. So it's not even 1 acre. It's only 3,200 square feet. So we don't need to worry about that one. So 110 is the maximum. So you can have 110 units per acre. So that means that if we ever need to put a house or some apartment in that lot, we can only put in one because it's not even an acre, right? So, but anyway, we this might not be meaningful to us because if we're putting in a restaurant or a cafe, then if we're not planning to put in any livable space or an apartment or a house, then this doesn't apply to us. This only applies to dwelling units. Let's look at the minimum floor area. There's a minimum and maximum, which is an FAR, means a floor area ratio. So let's look at that one. So that means that if you have a land of 3,200 square feet, according to this guideline here, you can only you must have zero point 0.3 or 30% of 3,200 square feet. So that is your smallest area. You can't go smaller than this one, and you can't go bigger 3 times. So this three is 300%. So you can't go 3 times as big as 3,200. So you can't go bigger than 9,600 square feet, and you can not be lower than 30% of this one. Okay, so that is designations. We do have to look at and research the height of building. It only tells us the number of stories, which is minimum of 2 floors, but up to 6 floors. So we do have to have a little bit of research on that one. But urban law tells us that minimum 2 stories. This doesn't apply to us. The smallest building area that we can build is 30% of whatever the land is, and the biggest area that we can build there is 3 times as much. It also says that we have to look at page 2-88. Okay, so this is 238. So 288. Let's do this. 288. So where's 288? This is 259. So let's go to 288. This is 276, 288, 280, 285. Corridors, there you go. Suburban, so not that one, suburban. You wanted to look at the urban law. Here you go. So here's the design guidelines. You got to read this. It says that there's certain characteristics. Buildings sited adjacent to the corridor to create street wall. So they don't want you to have a building that is far from this one. They want you to site that very close to this one. So why is that? What's the rationale? You have to read through here. Typically, they do this because they wanted to create a wall behind or in front of a residential area, and that's why they wanted to do that. So that's the purpose of that one. Looks like it's consistent. The lot coverage also is important here. Lot coverage means that you cannot cover 70% of the area, which is okay because we need a minimum of 30%. Okay, but so you can't occupy the whole lot. You can only occupy up to 70% of 3,200. Okay, so that's important to know. What else? Building facades and entrances directly addressing the street. So you need to like address the street. You can't go and do a pathway or a long entrance. Number seven, buildings with pedestrian-oriented uses such as outdoor cafes. Oh, locate the street level. So we we can design something where we have an outdoor area, okay, for a cafe. Parking must be located to the side or behind the buildings. So we can't put a parking in front. It must be to the side or behind the building. And so we have more to find out. We need building heights. We need parking information, like how many parkings and everything like that. So read through this to help you understand how much you can occupy uh, the building, which is 70%, how many stories, which is what we discussed before. So that's basically it. That's the land use designation for our lot, which is an urban low according to this map, okay, which is color coded in our map here. We are part of this portion over here, and this land use tells us everything about what we need to do and how we can use the lot for building, retail. There's for livable space, 30% of the land, but not more than three times as big. Okay, so that's how we figure out the land use design guidelines designation under special planning districts. All right.